Well, as you can tell, I'm under the sink. Uh, we have a Dishmaster, which a lot of people haven't heard of, but it's a old style. They still make them, which is weird. But it's an old style of a wand with a brush on it and soap dispenser. So you can basically not have to use a sponge or anything like that when you wash dishes. Which is all great and dandy. Our old ones always lasted forever. My parents had them. My wife's parents had them. It was just a common thing, I think. For us, it was common. We've always had one. But what happened was our old one wore out. The valves weren't rebuildable, so we got a newer style. Put that in, and from day one, it was not the same. I mean, it leaked. It just had nothing but problems. So today, we decided time to switch it out. The handle kept falling off of the Dishmaster, so now it's a pair of vice grips, and that's not working. We do need to remodel the whole entire kitchen, but we found this on Amazon, and I think it was like $60 or something like that. So we're gonna do that. I figured, why not start today? I am working with one eye because I had an eye explode from all my diabetes problems. Waiting for the blood to clear out, so I'm not working on cars right now. So I figure, let's work under a sink because that sounds really safe. I do have glasses. I have safety glasses and some other stuff, so we'll see if we can do this without incident. But if not, you'll be on the journey with me. So I'm hoping that this goes smooth. If not, last time valves and everything else had to be replaced. So stick with us and see if it all turns out. So I'm shutting off the valves here, and then I got to pull off the hoses that go up to the faucet. We just added a dishwasher, or upgraded a dishwasher to this house, and changed the valves in this. So everything's kind of new under here. I'm hoping there's no problems. Last time it was a nightmare. The copper pipes are just little stubs that come out, and we barely had enough to put the new valve on. So I'm going to go ahead, take a crescent wrench, and start taking off the lines. Now I do have a bucket under here, so to catch some of the water that's going to come out of just the lines. I'm hoping the valve shut off 100%. So let's see. Yeah, it doesn't look like any water's coming out, so that's great. Let's see if I can reach the cold from here. Now this is kind of the easier part of the job. The hard part's reaching up to the faucet. And they make special wrenches for it, but I'm hoping I can do it with just a crescent wrench. And I know I have the wrench for it, but the question would be where. All right. Okay. Here we got the bucket under here. I don't know where the water's coming from. Oh, it's coming from the hose. We're good. Now there's a nut on both sides of the each valve has its own nut way up to the bottom of the sink, and they're pretty big. I might have to use a pair of channel locks, but let's see how tight I made them. Let's see if I can even get to it. Ow. Oh, it's pretty loose. Well, that's not why I was leaking, but that's kind of nice actually. Don't get tight at the end. Why does everything get tight at the end? I'm going to try to find a pair of channel locks, or if I could find a faucet wrench, I'm going to try to find that. I'll be back. Alright, so I'm trying to get way up there with the nut. If you've ever been underneath the sink, you know the pain I'm having today. The nut was coming off easy, and then it got to the last couple threads and it got real hard. So I don't have far to go, thank goodness, but I'm reaching all the way up to basically the bottom of the sink trying to get a nut off. You just gotta fight it all the way off. No pliers fit on it, easy. All right, I'm getting it, I got it. And that wrench is what got it. So this is what they call a faucet wrench. And it hooks on, and then as you turn it, rotates around, but it goes flat up against. So that worked. I'm seeing now that I need to take off the upper lines because the nut won't fit over what's there. It's like they designed the nut just the same exact size as the opening for this. Right now I bet plumbers are staring at me laughing right now, going, "You rookie." That's the nut that took me a little bit to get off. So now that's all done. Now I got to pull off the soap maker thing. I'll just pull the hose off the fitting. Alright, so that's done, that's done, that's done, that's done, that's done. Alright, so here's our custom vice grips. This has been our turn on and off the water for a couple weeks now. This is what the Dishmaster is. So this comes off, this comes up, and then you can wash your dishes with this thing. We haven't used it in a long time because the soap stopped working and everything else. These heads are replaceable. So basically, this is our setup. So I disconnected it so we can pull this or not. Let's pull that off. Let's see what's happening. That comes off, and I don't know what's happening. I'll be back. All right. So that should pull out. So that pulls out, then this is our faucet. We're getting rid of that. And then this, and then all the plumber's goop stuff that we'll clean up. A whole bunch of the anti-leak stuff we put on. Because the gasket was terrible. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this all up, and then we'll get our next faucet all set up to drop in, and we'll go from there. Blind guy trying to read directions that are designed to be printed on, I think, the back of a business card size. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the instructions. The unit comes like this. So some assembly required, but not much. I mean, the valves here, everything looks like it's all together. So what I'm going to do is follow the directions. God, crazy, huh? First it says enter spring. Hold on. Insert the spring. Insert the spring. Insert the spring. Oh, I guess I can insert the spring. Says it like 3 times. Alright, inserted. I don't know if it stays. Does it lock in? Yep. Spring inserted. It had a click. Kind of like high school. Everybody has a click. That was 1. Now 2A, 2B. 2A is slide mounting shank through sink from above. Then slide the shank through the rubber washer. Okay, ensure the base is aligned with sink. The outlet extends prior to fully tightening mount and that stuff. Okay, that's if it has a single hole. We got 3 holes. Insert bad joke here. If the sink has 3 holes, slide mounting shank through deck plate. Okay, so now we have a dispenser also. So let's get custom. Can we get custom today? We got a car fabricator going to do some sink work here. So we have a soap dispenser that we could put in this hole here. So if we do that, we have 1 hole to get rid of. Now I know they have single caps that can go in this. But the car fabricator in me says, can we drill a hole in this? So if we drill a hole, mount the sink there, put a hole here through that hole, that'll give us a soap dispenser right next to our sink. I think that'd be pretty cool. What do you think? Do it? Do it! Do it now! Oh. So, the drawback is we have to get soap way up underneath for the bottle that comes with it. But I don't think that'll be a problem. The bottle just threads on like that, I think. Yeah. So the bottle threads in there. I'm sure there's a stem or something, some way to get the soap up. I don't know. Is there a stem? There's supposed to be a stem. Where's the stem? No! Really, Amazon? I found the stem. Alright. So, is this going to work? You know what? It's going to be Chris that has to install the soap all the time probably, so it's going to work. So now I got to figure out where this hole is. Okay, that barely covers the hole, but this, I don't think this needs such a big, let's figure this out. So I don't think this needs such a big hole. This will all be underneath, so. So we only need like a 1-inch hole. And if I mount that, I'll get rubber so we can test it. If I go there, how does that line up? That'll line up. So basically we need a 1-inch hole saw to drill that. So I'm going to find center here and then mark it, drill it, and we'll come back here. Alright, so here's the washer that came with it. Normally you sit there and you try to find center, try to line it up. But here's a washer with a washer inside of it that fits inside that washer. So now what that does is that gives us the exact center of where that is. We could probably even do a smaller washer and get it to where, you know, just a pinpoint. But we could put this exactly right to the edge because that's where the washer's going to go. And we can take a Sharpie. Sharpies look like this. Set that right on the edge. And that's really easy to mark dead center. So now I got dead center of where we're going to be. So we take a spring punch. No going back now. And punch it. So now what we could do is put one over here and have hand soap and a dish soap or whatever you want to do, but we're just going to do this for now. But that's always an option with a 3-hole sink. So now I'm just going to use a unibit on this. So that's as big as that unibit goes. But we got to go to 1 inch. So we got this big guy. Put him in. That bit's evil. Evil, I tell you. Alright, let's size up. Why, George? I think he's caught it. So now we got that. That lines up. We're good to go. So we'll have a little soapy dispenser right here. Alright, let's put this back to how it was. We got a washer for top, washer for bottom, and a nut. Alright. Now I'm going to clean up all this with a wet paper towel. Oh. Not yet. I'm just going to put this on the sink and let my wife have to deal with it, because that's what us husbands do. That looks good. Ow! Don't do that. It's like a finger prick when you're diabetic. Blood sugar's a little high, I can taste it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put the foam back in. And I'm going to have to cut out the foam. So I'm going to mark that, and then we'll cut it out with scissors or something. I don't know. Have a rat chew it or something. Alright, I just drilled a hole in this. I'm going to leave it kind of tight. Let's see how this, yeah, that'll be hard to get in, which is kind of what I want, because I want it to seal. Good enough. Alright, so we have the holes drilled for that. So now, we put the chrome on, and go back to our instructions. Go over here. Alright, glasses down, contact. That's pretty cool. Alright, so their design is pretty cool. Modern stuff, I guess. Remember how I said I had a real hard problem getting the nut around the ends here? So that doesn't fit. So what they did is they made a washer nut type deal. This is a threaded washer that will slide over the hoses. And then you tighten up these set screws, and that's what makes your faucet tight. So this is going to be a two-party issue. There's a washer there and a washer there. So now the hard part is getting the washer over everything. There we go. There we go. And this comes all the way down to here, here. Alright, so this will be installed underneath. This gets thrown through these holes like that, and this is going to be what our new washer, our new faucet looks like. All right. So now we're going to bring in our lovely Chris. I've been working on the railroad. Okay. Alright, so this is going to go in this hole. Here, hold that. Alright. Alright. So that's done, that's done, that's done. So we're going to have Chris hold this. She's going to have to hold this aligned, make sure it's in the hole the way she wants it. Her sink, her deal. And I get to go underneath and put nuts on. Alright, I'm under, I'm going in. So I'm going to do the soap dispenser first. I was thinking I should do the other thing, but I can get to the soap dispenser pretty easy. Alright, I think that's tight enough to at least hold it. Now I'm going to do the faucet there. That goes up there. Alright, I give you plumbers a lot of credit, man. Now I tighten it up with a screwdriver. It's so much easier. On that side, I'll go back to this side. Alright, Chris, does that feel tight?
Yes.
Alright. Feel like it ain't gonna move?
Not gonna move.
Not gonna move, cool. Chris is gonna go back to filming, I think. How's the soap dispenser feel thick? Tight?
Yeah.
Okay, I think the really hardest part's done. Now we gotta hook up all these hoses and everything. Make that make sense. But you know what I'm gonna do first? I'll read the directions. I'm having so much fun under here. To tighten the soap dispenser up with pliers. Alright. It's all plastic. So we add soap and take off the soap dispenser, plastic bottle. It doesn't unthread the actual pump on top. That's done. I brought the instructions down here to hang out with us. Now, how do we know hot and cold? I bet you, because of this new technology, they're probably labeled. This has blue dots. This has red dots. That's awesome. These manufacturers are getting smarter and smarter.
Designed for the modern idiot.
Designed for the modern idiot, like me. Take the cold, put the cold on. Stick the hot, put the hot on. Now there's little tiny. Hi. There's little tiny rubber washers in there. Make sure they're in there. And if you're redoing like an Old Faucet, they sell kits of these rubber washers. And they're not like an O-ring, it's actually a beveled washer. Always replace those because leaks under sinks suck. We know we've had a lot of them. I gotta tighten that up with a wrench before I forget. They got small crescent and big crescent. Let's do small crescent. And since it is a rubber washer, you don't need to go Gorilla He-Man on them. Otherwise you'll cause it to leak. I could always go tighter if it leaks. That's done, that's done, that's done. Alright, now we got some weird hoses. Let's see what it says about those. It clicked. Did you hear that? Did you hear it? Did you hear it? I know it clicked because I heard it. What movie was that from? Put in the comments below. We're on the back page, man. We're almost there. This is the hose weight. So it has screws in it. I don't know if I could sneak it on. Yes, I can. See, this is what the Dishmaster did not have. Let's see if it tells you where to put it, because that's going to depend on how far the one pulls out, I bet. Install weight here. There's a sticker on the hose.
And it's moving it up and down.
Okay, so right
But
now
now it's in the slot.
in the slot.
It's in its home.
Okay,
Okay, that's just moving the hose.
that's hanging. So we'll try that. I could go up. Let's go up just a hair more. Let's hide that sticker of. Put the weight here. I can always move it. It's pretty easy to do. So that tightens up. That tightens up. Turn on both water supplies at angle stops and faucet handle. Check for leaks at all connections made during this installation. I'm going to turn on the hot water. Oops. Turned it on too fast. Look, Mom, no leaks. All right, let's do the cold. Maybe I'll get just as lucky. Nope. Leak, 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 leak. All right, I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to replace the washer and come back to you. I'm back. Did you miss me? Here's a kit. This has all the washers we need. And more. This is the washer. See how it's, I doubt if you could see it. I'll try to put it up against my hand. It's kind of cone shaped. So it pushes down as we tighten it up. Alright, so this is what waterproof grease looks like. Just put a little bit on your finger and put it on the rubber washer. What I'm trying to do is make it to where the nut spins, but doesn't take the hose with it. Because what it's doing is it's tightening down and then spinning the hose at the same time, so it's fighting me. Alright, I really don't get it. It's still leaking. New rubber washer. Let's see what happened. Maybe the valve is causing problems? I don't know. I don't get it. I guess what I could do, look at what was on the old one. Well, it has a rubber washer in there. So what I did is I took out all the washers and put in a cone washer. We'll see what that does. Honestly, don't know what to do. I wonder if it's time to change the stop valve.
And you just replace that?
That's tight. No, I can't get it any tighter. I replaced the hot water side for the dishwasher.
Oh, I thought you replaced them both.
I might have.
Because figuring that it needed to be replaced anyways.
So I'll pull this back off and we'll see what the rubber washer did. See if it cut it or... Okay, no rubber gasket there, so it's on this. It just pushed into the valve. So what does that tell us? That's seated there and that pushed into the valve.
So it sucked too far in.
So Yeah.
So what if you put a flat washer behind it?
Does rubber on rubber seal?
Oh.
I don't know.
At this point.
I don't know. Maybe the dog can figure it out. Alright, so now I'm just getting desperate. I got the cone washer in and the stock flat washer. Let's go get a valve at Home Depot. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Because we got to shut off our water main at the street because our water valve doesn't work in our main. Back from the big box store, and I got a new valve. It looks the same as my old valve. They didn't have any with like a flat top, and that's kind of what I was looking for. But when I pulled the old valve off, there was a little piece of rubber in it, so maybe that was the problem. I don't know, but I got to redo the compression fitting on our copper in here. We had to shut off the water main, so I might have, like Chris was saying, I might have replaced the valve before, but I mean, anything is possible. You guys missed something that was real funny. I barely cracked this, and with the water off, the water main off, and the valve shot off. So I got soaked underneath the cabinet, got soaked, everything. So all right, I gotta switch around here for you guys. Just I gotta be able to get in there and try this. This is a compression fitting, so the tighter I get it, the more it tightens down onto the copper. So you have to get that pretty tight for it not to leak. So now what I'm going to do is hope that's shut off. Yeah, that's on, so that's off. I'm going to go turn on the main, I think. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I gotta hook up the main because I don't know if this is gonna leak or not. So I'm gonna go turn on the main and then we'll come back. Success on that valve, not leaking. Water main's back on. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to hook up that hose. There it is. I'm not seeing any drip.
Nope. Do you need a dry rag?
I got one here.
You have a wet rag.
I don't know. There's water on the other one, but I don't think it's leaking. I think that's from my explosion. Because everything blew up. I got soaked. Underneath the cabinet got soaked. So now what I like doing is, assuming everything's perfect, I'm going to pour this in this side of the sink because the other side looks like it's all torn apart. I like putting this underneath here and letting it sit overnight. And then I can come back and look at it and see if it's leaking. No, I did not see any. What happened?
You're dripping out of the...
Yeah, out of here. Right?
Is it there or is it the thing down below, the nut down below?
This right here, all this stuff is off. This is off. This is off. Okay, that's why this won't line up, because this has to turn that way. Has to be up there. I don't see no drippy. Let's go up to the sink and see what we're doing. This is what the faucet looks like. Let's see if it works. I'm kind of scared. So I guess you pull for water. Oh, it's got some pressure. Pull for water. turn it this way. That should be hot. I'm going to let it run for a little bit. I'm going to go down and check plumbing, but you stay here and watch it run. Alright, and that side's leaking a little. I'm going to put it on that side. That side seems good. Alright, we got hot water. That's cold water. There. I got one T leaking. That one that looked a little off. So I'm going to go down there and fix that. So that's basically it. We got a little soap dispenser here. I didn't put soap in it yet, but we're going to do that. And the reason why we got this is so we could actually come over here and use the sink. Because the sink is so big that we couldn't use half the sink. We couldn't, if we put a pot in there, we couldn't fill it. So now with this setup, we can bring it over here and fill it up. And there's a button here that changes your spray pattern. So it goes from just a regular pattern to a spray pattern. In a couple months, we'll do an update video, and I'll let you know how it's working. So, once again, I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to the video. And let me know everything I did wrong, because I'm sure there's 10,000 things that I did wrong. Or give me suggestions, because when I do this again, hopefully with your knowledge, it'll go a lot smoother than a trip to Home Depot, being soaked with water, and watching drip, 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 drip as we go along. So, like I said, thank you very much for watching. Please watch one of our other videos. It's always fun.